Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Lingua Quest English. I'm Emma.
And I'm Ryan. Today we're diving into one of the most powerful skills you can ever develop, time management.
Yes! If you often feel like there's never enough time to finish everything, or you keep saying, I'll do it later, this episode is for you.
We'll share 6 practical and easy-to-use strategies to help you manage your time better. And, as always, we'll explain some useful English expressions along the way.
So grab your notebook, or just listen while you're walking, commuting, or having a nice cup of coffee. Let's get started.
The very first step to managing your time effectively is understanding what really matters. We call that setting priorities.
Exactly. Think of your day like a jar. If you fill it with sand first, the little unimportant tasks, there won't be any space left for the big rocks, the things that truly matter. But if you start with the big rocks first, you can always fit the sand around them later.
That's such a brilliant example. In other words, your big rocks are your main goals or responsibilities, maybe studying for an exam, completing an important project, or spending time with your family. The sand is everything else, the small, often distracting tasks that don't add much value.
So before you start your day, ask yourself a simple but powerful question. If I could only do one thing today, what would make the biggest difference?
I love that, because it forces you to think about what truly moves you forward, instead of just keeping you busy. And let's be honest, most of us confuse being busy with being productive.
So true. You can be running around all day, ticking boxes on your to-do list, and still feel like you haven't achieved anything meaningful. That's what we call busy work.
Vocabulary, priorities, the things that are most important to you. Busy work, small or unimportant tasks that make you feel productive but don't help you reach your real goals.
And here's a great idiom for you. Don't bite off more than you can chew. It means, don't try to do too many things at once.
Yes, because when you say yes to everything, you end up doing nothing properly. Time management isn't about squeezing in more tasks. It's about focusing on fewer tasks that really matter.
One simple way to do this is to write down everything you think you need to do, and then circle the top 3 that will have the biggest impact. Those are your top priorities. If you finish those, you've already had a successful day.
I actually use a system called the Eisenhower Matrix. It helps me decide what to do first, what to schedule for later, what to delegate, and what to delete completely.
Oh yes, that's such a powerful method. For anyone listening, imagine a square divided into 4 boxes. In the first box, write important and urgent, things that must be done today, like deadlines or emergencies. In the second, important but not urgent, long-term goals, like learning English or planning your future. The third is not important but urgent, interruptions like emails or messages. And finally, not important and not urgent, those time-wasting habits like scrolling on social media.
Exactly. The goal is to spend most of your time in that second box, on things that are important but not urgent. That's where real progress happens.
Here's another expression for our listeners. First things first. It means do the most important things before anything else.
Yes, that phrase says it all. You'll never have time for everything, but you'll always have time for what matters most, if you plan it that way.
And remember, it's okay to let go of some tasks. You don't have to do it all. In fact, saying no to less important things is a sign of maturity and self-awareness.
Well said. When you focus on your top priorities, you stop reacting to life and start directing it. That's when you truly begin to manage your time and your energy wisely.
So listeners, here's your small challenge for today. Before you go to bed tonight, write down 3 things that are most important for tomorrow. Just 3. When you wake up, start with those first.
You'll be amazed how productive and peaceful your day feels when you know exactly what matters most.
Our second tip is simple but absolutely life-changing. Plan your day before it starts.
Yes, and I really mean that. The difference between an average day and a productive day often comes down to whether you've taken 10 minutes to plan it. Successful people don't just let the day happen to them, they design it.
Exactly. When you wake up without a plan, it's so easy to get distracted by small things. Checking your phone, replying to messages, doing random tasks that don't really move you forward.
That's right. It's a bit like setting out on a road trip without a map. You might be busy driving, but you won't necessarily end up anywhere useful.
That's such a good comparison. Planning gives you direction. It tells you what to focus on, and more importantly, what to ignore.
Now, there are many ways to plan your day, but one of my favorites is what's called the 3MIT rule.
Oh yes, I love that one too. It stands for your 3 most important tasks. At the start of each day, choose 3 things that matter most. The ones that will make the biggest difference if you complete them.
Exactly. You can do this in a planner, a notebook, or even a simple notes app on your phone. What matters is clarity. If you finish those 3 tasks, your day is already successful. Anything else you get done is a bonus.
Vocabulary. Planner. A notebook or app for scheduling and organizing your tasks. MITS. Most important tasks. The top priorities that bring the greatest results.
There's a brilliant saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. It might sound harsh, but it's true. Without planning, you end up reacting to the day instead of controlling it.
I completely agree. And here's another tip for our listeners. Plan the night before. Before going to bed, spend just 5 minutes writing down what you'll do tomorrow. That way, you wake up with a clear sense of purpose and direction.
That's powerful, because your brain starts working on those tasks even while you sleep. You'll wake up already motivated and ready to go.
And it doesn't have to be complicated. Some people prefer digital tools like Google Calendar, while others like using paper journals. The key is to keep it simple. If it's easy to do, you'll actually do it.
Yes, and once you've written your plan, try to time block your day. That means setting specific times for specific activities. For example, 9 to 10 a.m. for studying, 10 to 10:15 for a short break, and so on.
That technique works wonders because it keeps you accountable and helps you avoid multitasking, which often leads to mistakes and stress.
I like to think of planning as a form of self-respect. When you plan your day, you're saying, my time matters. It's a sign that you value your goals and your growth.
That's so true. Planning isn't just about efficiency, it's about intentional living. Deciding how you want your day to unfold instead of letting chaos take control.
Exactly. And if something unexpected happens, because let's face it, life does get messy, you can adjust. Having a plan gives you flexibility, not rigidity.
Well said. So remember, listeners, take a few minutes each evening to plan tomorrow. Choose your 3 MITs, write them down, and commit to starting your day with clarity and confidence.
Do that consistently for a week, and you'll notice a huge change. Less stress, more focus, and a real sense of progress.
Now, you've got your plan in place, but what happens when you don't feel like starting?
Ah, yes, the age-old problem. Putting things off until later.
Now, let's talk about everyone's enemy, procrastination.
Ah, yes, that sneaky habit of putting things off, even when we know we shouldn't. We tell ourselves, I'll do it later, and somehow later never arrives.
Exactly. Procrastination steals your time and your confidence. It makes simple tasks feel heavier the longer you wait. And the truth is, it's rarely about laziness. It's usually about fear or perfectionism.
That's a really good point. We often delay tasks because we want them to be perfect, or we're afraid of failing. But waiting for the perfect moment is the same as not starting at all.
The best trick is to start small. When something feels too big or overwhelming, break it into smaller, more manageable steps.
Right. For example, instead of saying, I have to study for 3 hours, say, I'll study for 10 minutes. It sounds easy, doesn't it? But once you begin, you'll often find yourself studying much longer.
That's because of momentum. That feeling of energy that builds once you've started. The hardest part is always the beginning. After that, your brain wants to keep going.
Vocabulary. Procrastinate. To delay doing something important. Momentum. the force or energy that keeps you moving once you start.
There's a wonderful idiom for this. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It reminds us that every big achievement starts with one small action.
Yes, and you don't need motivation to start. You need action. Motivation comes after you begin, not before. That's something people often forget.
That's so true. Think about exercising. You rarely feel motivated before you start, but once you put on your trainers and move for 5 minutes, suddenly you're in the flow.
Exactly. Action creates motivation, not the other way around.
Here's another tip. Use what's called the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, just do it immediately. Reply to that email, wash that cup, send that message.
And for bigger tasks, apply the same idea. Tell yourself you'll only do it for 2 minutes. Usually, once you start, you'll keep going naturally.
Another powerful strategy is to remove decision fatigue. Sometimes we procrastinate simply because there are too many choices. If you can, decide in advance when and where you'll do something. For example, I'll start revising at 6 p.m. at my desk.
That's called implementation intention, planning the when and where of a task. It tricks your brain into treating it as an appointment instead of an option.
I love that. And remember, perfection is the enemy of progress. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start now and improve as you go.
Exactly. People who manage their time well aren't faster or smarter. They just start sooner and adjust along the way.
If you struggle with procrastination, try rewarding yourself for progress, not just results. Maybe give yourself a 5-minute break, a snack, or some music time after finishing a small step.
Rewards train your brain to associate action with pleasure instead of pressure. Over time, starting becomes easier.
And finally, forgive yourself when you slip. Everyone procrastinates sometimes. The key is to recognize it quickly and take that first small step again.
Well said. Progress doesn't require perfection. It just requires persistence.
So remember, take one small step, start building momentum, and soon enough you'll wonder why you waited so long.
And once you've learned how to overcome procrastination, there's another big challenge waiting. Distractions.
Distractions are everywhere these days. Phones, messages, notifications, social media. The list never ends.
And it always starts innocently. You think, I'll just check my phone for a minute, and suddenly half an hour has disappeared.
Exactly. Distractions are the silent killers of productivity. They seem small, but they slowly eat up your focus and energy. Every time your attention switches, your brain has to restart its concentration, and that wastes a lot of time.
That's why people who manage their time well are actually protecting their attention. They build an environment where it's easier to focus and harder to get distracted.
One brilliant method for that is called the Pomodoro technique. It's simple, but surprisingly powerful. You work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break.
Yes! The idea came from an Italian student who used a kitchen timer shaped like a tomato, and Pomodoro means tomato in Italian. Each 25-minute work session is called a Pomodoro.
During those 25 minutes, you give your full attention to one task. No checking messages, no switching tabs, no daydreaming. When the timer rings, you take a short 5-minute break. Stretch, walk, have some water, or just breathe.
After 4 Pomodoros, take a longer break, maybe 15 or 20 minutes. This rhythm trains your brain to focus in short, powerful bursts while still allowing rest.
Vocabulary. Distraction, something that takes your attention away from what you're doing. Pomodoro technique, a time management method that uses short, timed work intervals followed by short breaks.
Now, some people say they're great at multitasking, doing many things at once. But honestly, multitasking is a myth. When you switch between tasks, your brain actually slows down. You think you're being efficient, but you're really doing several things badly instead of one thing well.
Absolutely. Imagine you're cooking, texting, and watching a video at the same time. Something's going to burn. It's the same with work or study. Focus on one thing fully, finish it, and then move on.
A good strategy is to create a focus zone. Turn off unnecessary notifications, put your phone out of sight, or use apps that block social media temporarily. Even tiny changes make a huge difference.
Yes, and tell people around you when you need quiet time. A simple, "I'll be working for the next half hour," can save you from interruptions. And be mindful of your workspace. A messy desk can distract your mind just as much as a noisy phone. Keep it tidy. Only what you need in front of you.
That's so true. Visual clutter becomes mental clutter. A clear space often leads to a clear mind.
Also, reward your focus time. Tell yourself, if I work without distraction for 1 Pomodoro, I'll enjoy 5 minutes of scrolling or a small treat. It turns focus into a positive habit rather than a chore.
Exactly. You're training your brain to link concentration with satisfaction. Over time, staying focused feels easier and even enjoyable.
So, to sum up, eliminate distractions. Try the Pomodoro technique. And remember that true productivity comes from deep focus, not constant busyness.
Well said. Managing distractions is like building a mental shield. It protects your time, energy, and creativity.
Another powerful skill for time management is learning to say no.
Yes. It sounds simple, but for many people, it's incredibly difficult. We often say yes to things we don't really want to do, just to be nice or to avoid disappointing others.
Exactly. But here's the truth. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're actually saying no to something meaningful, like your goals, your focus, or your rest.
That's such a great point. Saying no doesn't make you rude or unkind. It makes you honest about your priorities.
And you can always do it politely. You don't have to be harsh. Try saying, "I'd love to help, but I'm focusing on something important right now." Or, "That sounds great, but I can't commit at the moment."
Those phrases keep things respectful, but still protect your time. Remember, politeness doesn't mean saying yes to everything. It means saying no gracefully.
Vocabulary: guilty, feeling bad for refusing something. Polite, showing good manners and respect.
When you respect your own time, others start to respect it too. People who always say yes often end up exhausted, stressed, and resentful.
Yes, and boundaries aren't selfish. They're smart. They protect your energy and keep you focused on what truly matters.
Here's a little mindset shift. When you say no to one thing, you're saying yes to something better. Your health, your goals, your peace of mind. Beautifully said. So remember, saying no isn't rejection. It's redirection. You're choosing your path with intention.
And when you balance that with proper rest and recovery, you'll feel more productive and peaceful.
Right. Because managing your time also means managing your energy. Finally, managing your time isn't only about doing more. It's about doing it better.
Exactly. Many people think productivity means constant action, but rest is just as important. Rest isn't a reward. It's a requirement.
That's so true. Your mind and body are like batteries. If you never stop to recharge, you'll eventually run out of energy, no matter how motivated you are.
And when you're tired, your focus drops, mistakes increase, and even small tasks feel impossible. So the smart thing isn't to push harder, it's to rest wisely. Take short breaks during your day. Step outside, stretch, drink some water, or just close your eyes for a moment. Those tiny pauses refresh your brain.
And of course, never underestimate the power of good sleep. You can't manage your time well if you're running on empty. Vocabulary: recharge, to get your energy back. Productive: achieving good results from your effort.
There's a lovely quote I always remember. Time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. It reminds us that rest, hobbies, and laughter all have value.
Yes, balance matters. A healthy routine includes both focus and relaxation. That's how you stay consistent in the long run. Let's quickly review what we've learned today. 6 simple but powerful time management tips. 1. Set clear priorities. 2. Plan your day. 3. Avoid procrastination. 4. Limit distractions. 5. Learn to say no. 6. Rest and recharge. Remember, good time management isn't about being busy, it's about being effective. Start small, stay consistent, and you'll soon feel more in control of your time and your life. Thank you so much for listening to LinguaQuest English. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with someone who wants to improve both their English and their productivity. Keep learning, keep growing, and manage your time wisely. Until next time, take care and stay motivated.